What's up guys, in this video I just want to talk about if you should buy this Pokemon, the best build for BUZZWOLE, and also, go over some gameplay, because I think he's a very interesting Pokemon that obviously needs a bit more to know and understand like how, his mechanics work. But first on, should you buy this Pokemon? It's pretty expensive, right? 12,000 gold. And right now I would say he's pretty average. Like, he has a lot of potential, he can be very strong and obviously carry games, but besides that, it's quite weak in certain amount of things. It has a lot of counterplay as well. He's very vulnerable to crowd control. I mean, just like any other Pokemon, right? Stunts and stuff kind of mess him up. A lot of mini stunts as well. But he's very fun to play. Like, even though I had a negative win rate with this Pokemon, I had so much fun playing this Pokemon. It's absolutely fun. And if you have enough gold and you just want to play something super fun, I can recommend it. Also, it's mainly, I think, a jungler. Laning phase seems pretty bad as well. So if you don't enjoy jungling, not sure if I would recommend this Pokemon. I mean, you can lane with it, but it can be an absolute struggle, right? But you can totally do it, depending on your lane partner, right? It always depends on your lane partner. Is your lane partner good or bad of a Pokemon? You can always lane or not lane, right? So this early game, we just auto-take a crazy amount. We always build up our Rage Bar, or like our Muscle Gauge. You can call it a Rage Bar maybe as well, And we just auto-take a lot. So for the build, I'm running full crit emblems, scope lens, Razor Claw, and a Muscle Band as well. Because I think it's just the best thing to do. I really tried other head items as well, they just didn't seem too amazing. His attack damage scalings are okay, like Superpower, which we play Lunge and Superpower, which is the best build. I think nothing comes even close to it. Like you see in this early game, I actually feel quite powerful, right? Like I do a good amount of damage with my basic attacks, and yeah, so weakness policy is fine, but honestly, his auto-attack damage is very low. Like, he doesn't have crazy amount of auto-attack damage, so weakness policy doesn't increase it by too much. Attack rate is okay, but it's also quite hard to stack sometimes, but you could maybe consider attack rate. I just thought like Razor Claws for sure, given with Lunge. We lunge in, we Razor Claw, it has very low cooldown, we can proc it 3 or 4 times fighting someone, very good. It also helps us hit our other move, because if we lunge, we basic attack right there, slowed as well, and then we can easily hit our Superpower or Leech Life, so Razor Claws are kinda given. Muscle Band is a given, we have crazy attack speed, right, so we always want to keep auto-attacking a lot. Also helping the attack speed helps us build up our passive much more faster, or the Muscle Gauge, which is very important for late game. And then for emblems, so the thing is, I just went for a crit because black emblems don't really do much on this Pokemon in this build. We already have very low cooldowns, and Superpower level 11 it pretty much doesn't need cooldown reduction. We just have to build up our Muscle Gauge again to get our next Superpower. So the cooldown of it literally does not matter, right? Because you get it fully reset on level 11. As soon as you build up your Muscle Gauge to 100%, it's on cooldown, it gets completely reset. So black emblems in this build is kind of pointless. If you play Leech Life, I think you can totally go black emblems, right? They're quite good in there. And you can see I'm just going so ham. This game was pretty fun. Like, this Pokemon is super, super fun. I'm having absolutely blast playing it, but there's some clearly weaknesses it has. And yeah. The also problem with the jungle is it doesn't have any secure for objectives. So like, you can't last hit Dreadnought, you can't last hit Zapdos, you can use Superpower on it. But since we can't build up our Muscle Gauge against wild Pokemon, it just doesn't do a lot of damage. I think that's something this Pokemon needs. You should be able to build up your Muscle Gauge against, wild Pokemon. It should just obviously be a much, much less value than it is against enemy Pokemon, but hitting out wild Pokemon, hitting Dreadnought, Zapdos should give you Muscle Gauge, I'm pretty sure. I think that's how it should be. Looking for a team fight right here, we're going to jump in, look for a lunge into auto-taking, into blocking our Razor Claw, and we just basic attack a lot. Of course, want to get our crits out. Now we have a full stacked Muscle Gauge, so I'm just going to kill this Snorlax right here. With a Superpower, we're going to keep going, we have the reset of our passive, keep auto-taking, keep chunking, and in these like scenarios, like this Pokemon looks super good, right? But that's also because I'm obviously jungling. Like, anything in jungling can just always roll over games. We kill all of them here, we ace them fully, walking towards the next goal now, to maybe score here as well. Try to pull the Superpower. That's also a problem, like, he has very low range. Doesn't matter if you play Superpower or Leech Life, it has very low range, and I think it's quite predictable of when he's gonna grab you, right? Or like when he is in range. Like, I think it's pretty easy to play around. But yeah, my team here, we push the second goal, absolutely murdering the enemy team. So you can see this Pokemon for sure has potential, right? Of course, we have a Blissey again, so Blissey always makes everything look also much better than it actually is. That's just the Blissey effect. Going back to our jungle now, gonna clear this. But yeah, our jungle clear, I mean, it's fine, right? It's not too bad. We clear things still pretty fast, even without building our Muscle Gauge. Superpower still does a good amount of damage, doesn't matter what. And now we hit our Power Spike as well. Level 11 is where you become very, very strong. When we get the Superpower Plus, we have now multiple combos as well. We can also start with the Superpower, then we can build up our next Muscle Gauge with lunges and stuff, and then we can keep going. But yeah, I'm just gonna go, keep auto-taking here, get my crits off, have a full on Muscle Gauge, lunging onto the Snorlax, and bam. Also, why do we play Lunge over Smackdown? It's just lower cooldown, more mobility, easier to hit, right? Smackdown, if you miss Smackdown, it's quite easy to miss as well. Very, very easy to miss. And then you just like, you do nothing. And Lunge also gives us attack speed, it gives us more attack damage, which means our moves do more damage. Right here we just get Chain CC'd into oblivion, and we actually just die. I think you can also consider full heal on this Pokemon, of course, especially if you play Leech Life, because then, but I mean, I would not recommend playing Leech Life right now. I think it's just not good enough. It's way too easy counterable, there's too many mini stuns in the game. One mini stun and it's instantly gone. So, again, I tried it a lot yesterday, and I came to the conclusion that you probably shouldn't play it. It's quite fun as well, and it looks quite hilarious when it works, because it does absolutely crazy damage, and it heals you for a crazy amount, but it's too hard. It's way too hard in teamfights. Like, it's such a bad move in teamfights. As soon as you get to like Dreadnought Zapdos fights, you will notice a Leech Life pretty much has zero impact on the game. It's very good in 1v1s, of course, right? Obviously, unless the enemy has like some sort of CC reduction. You can see we still do Dreads also very fast. There's a superpower against it, but again, it doesn't do a lot of damage. So if to hit Dreadnought with superpower, you just have to like, yeah, you just have to superpower it. You do like 900 damage right there. Nothing too crazy, but we still take this Dread pretty fast thanks to Muscle Band, our crit damage as well. And I think that like crit might be the best. We can also maybe talk about tank held items a bit, but I think they just don't do too much. Like this Pokemon's already way too squishy. Find a nice superpower in the enemy Buzzwole. I'm gonna Unite Move one more time, because last time I can do it before Zapdos spawns, and we cannot just murder them. I'm gonna keep jumping, lunging forward, but I miss my superpower onto the Snorlax, and now we're just a bit deep. Obviously can't do much here, but I actually grab the Snorlax out of the air, out of the heavy slam. And yeah, you can actually do that. So when you see Snorlax heavy slamming towards you, you can actually just grab Snorlax and just get away. Here, I'm gonna pop my X speed and run away. Snorlax is super low. I kind of just want to turn this and see if I can do anything. I get Leech Life, I do a superpower, somehow does no damage. And we go down! I think this Pokemon is also pretty difficult to play though. But again, I mean, anything can look good in jungle, right? So that's just kind of the thing. When you overlevel it and stuff, any Pokemon can look good. But I still think it's like a A to B tier jungler, right? It's nothing S tier worthy. Just because it mainly lacks also clear. It's not a late game hyper carry, right? So you're kind of wasting a jungle spot for a all-rounder when, you know, you could have someone that's actually like a main carry, because this Pokemon is still not a main carry, right? You know, main carries are like Cinderace, Greninja, and so on, Dragonite. I mean, Dragonite also not really, but kinda, right? So you're kind of wasting a spot there for this Pokemon. So if you don't have any carries in, you know, on your lane, it could be quite rough when it comes to damage late game wise. So Zapdos is spawning now, looking for some lunges again. Gonna grab this with superpower, and then we just start basic attacking now. We've always wanted to basic attack a lot, so we build up our superpower thing again. There we go, bam, smack this guy down. And we get another Rotom as well. Rotom you can actually superpower, but again, you can't build up your muscle gauge. So your superpower just will not do a big amount of damage. And I think that's kind of frustrating. So I hope they do something about it, or at least let us, you know, build up our muscle gauge against Dread, Zapdos, and Rotom. If it's not against wild Pokemon, I think that would be very, very important. I'm looking for this last team fight now. My Machamp is going very ham. Just gonna try to follow him, hit a lunge, and I'm gonna start auto-attacking a lot. And I kind of just die. Looking for this Dragonite on top. He's fighting this Rotom. I'm just gonna try and go for him a bit. My team, like, as long as I zone away this Dragonite, you know, he can't really do much. He's the one that can maybe still steal Zapdos, so just going, fighting him, Unite moving him, bam, smack him down. Again, that's also execution damage, so. But yeah, I mean, again, if you have enough gold, you know, if you don't care about how much gold you have, I think this Pokemon is absolutely fun to play. And I think you're gonna have a super, super fun time with this Pokemon. You might not win a lot of games, but you can for sure, you know, have a big of impact. I think this game showcased that this Pokemon is you know, can do a lot of things on its own. Especially when you get to level 9 on first threat and stuff, you can just kind of run over your opponents with Lunge and Superpower. And yeah, this game we did a lot of damage actually, but you can see the damage is quite low sometimes. Even this Lunge doesn't kill the Espeon. Like one of the squishiest Pokemon in the game, and this Lunge still doesn't kill it. Like, it doesn't do any damage. 500 damage on level 15, which I feel like is kinda a joke for a move to deal 500 damage in late game on, you know, on a damage dealer. But I mean, Lunge does some other things as well. Again, it gives us bonus attack speed. It gives us also attack damage for every Pokemon we hit with it. So, you know, it does more things, right, than just damage. And it also reduces enemy attack. Actually, something I haven't I mentioned. It also reduces enemy attack. So very good on this physical attacker beta. Then we have Dragonite, they have a Buzzwole as well. So if we lunge on those Pokemon, you know, they do less damage. And we end this game with actually, it was a pretty good game. 113,000 damage. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and hope it helps you deciding on if you want to buy this Pokemon or not.